Hey, what's happening, guys? Rolandas here, back again with another update on my oral minoxidil. A lot of people have been asking me how I'm actually doing on oral minoxidil, and it's been more than 3 months already since I started this treatment, so I'm gonna share with you how I'm doing so far. Quickly to recap, if you're new here, I had 2 hair transplants with ectodermal forever in Portugal. Altogether 6,540 grafts implanted in Norwood 5 area, so I'm currently almost 4 months actually after my second transplant, but it's gonna be a topic for another video. Oh yeah, by the way, as you notice, I've got a fresh cut. I went to a usual local barber, they call like a cuts on the hill or something like that. Yeah, really nice one. I like it. What do you think? I trimmed actually the length and the sides everywhere basically. So yeah, I'm gonna be talking more about it on my actual transplant update. Stay tuned. So let's just talk about oral minoxidil. First of all, how I'm doing so far. I don't experience any side effects at all. I feel like absolutely normal, just the way I felt before I started this drug. So right now it's about 3.5 months since I started this drug. I started low on 1.5 milligram once a day, and after about 1 month I increased to 2.5 milligrams. So I've been on 2.5 milligrams since then, and I've been doing great. I feel absolutely normal. I've been checking my blood pressure every now and then. In the beginning I checked before I started the treatment, and then for the first couple of weeks I was monitoring it pretty extensively, almost on a daily basis. And recently, a couple of days ago, I checked it and it was looking absolutely normal, within normal range. So if you're planning to start it, definitely grab one of those. I've got a link in the description below, the one that I bought from Amazon. It's pretty basic, but you know, does the job. No other difference in heartbeat, heart rate, in the gym, after the gym, sleeping and anything like this. I feel absolutely normal. If you're talking about efficacy, if you've been watching my previous videos, you know that I've been like a kind of early responder, if it makes sense. But this early like benefits, they were really like a microscopical on this level that you really need to go really deep into it and like zoom in with the camera to see the gains. Nonetheless, I was doing it just to see for myself if actually this drug does something, and of course it does. Oral minoxidil is extremely potent and it works pretty much for every single person. Of course, the degree of the way it's gonna work is gonna be, you know, different for every single person. And by the way, I've got quite a few of like a major oral minoxidil studies that I got from one person, actually subscriber of the channel, that was kind enough to send me over like a proper full studies. So I'm gonna dive into it in one of my next videos, hopefully soon. So make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss this video. But if you're looking right now at what I see so far, like a bit more than 3 months being on oral minoxidil. In general, I noticed some small improvement in my temple peaks, although they've been transplanted around 100 single, finer grafts in this area. But at this stage, it's still a little bit early to expect like any kind of results from the transplant. And I was monitoring this area very closely, so I know exactly where is the like oral minoxidil gains and where is the transplanted hairs. Not to mention that the transplanted hairs, they're like darker. So the hair overall just got a little bit like a thicker, and there was a lot of baby hairs that got thicker and got a little bit more color. So it's not like a huge difference, but it gives great boost to overall like appearance of the temple peaks, which is great. You know, like a little goes a long way. And especially on the right side, I noticed much more new like kind of growth or new maturation of this really finer hairs. And another thing that I noticed actually, if we're talking about like things like hypertrichosis or unwanted body hair, in general I didn't experience any unwanted body hair, except maybe that my beard hair, it appears a little bit thicker than it was before, but again, no new like a crazy growth or something. But I noticed in the area between my eyebrow and the temple peak on the right side over here, it appears that there are a couple of hairs here and there in between this connection that got a bit darker. Again, it doesn't really bother me and you really need to look close into it, but I feel in the next couple of months they might get even thicker, to the point I would probably need to pluck them out, to kind of disconnect them. But again, as you can see, it's just few hairs, it's not really that much, so I'm not really bothered. On the left side there's almost nothing in there, and to be honest, the left side is overall has like a much less hairs. So I'm really curious to see how my temple peaks overall gonna look after another further 6 months. So a combination with oral minoxidil and the transplant. And I feel like my left one gonna be a little bit like thinner probably, but we'll see. The crown keeps improving, just like I discussed in my previous oral minoxidil update. There are a few hairs that were really thin and miniaturized and they just getting thicker longer, but right now I didn't notice any new hair like a sprouting, like this little tiny finer baby hairs. And before you jump into the conclusion, oh, you had a transplant, no, this area was not touched with a transplant at all. So whatever improvement I see in this area, it's solely due to oral minoxidil, because I've been on oral finasteride for like 2 years already. So this is definitely not finasteride as well. Of course, again, if you zoom in, you can kind of see a lot of, you know, this hair's like a different length, which means this the oral minoxidil is kind of, you know, bringing back, increasing the anagen growth phase of this hair, so they can grow a little bit longer and thicker. I'm not expecting, to be honest, dramatic change after another 6 months, but again, the same thing like with temple peaks. Small amount can go a really long way. And overall, I'm really happy, even though, like, for example, mid-scalp, I had a lot of transplanted hairs in there, but a little bit too early to see any or much of the transplanted growth. So most of the like thickening happened in mid-scalp due to oral minoxidil. I had before that a lot of miniaturized thin hairs in that area. So oral minoxidil gave a really great boost to the point that it almost looked like kind of the same, like the frontal third, which was transplanted, and mid-scalp in terms of kind of density. You know, it's not like amazing, but it's getting much, much, much better. And I'm really happy so far what I got in just such a short amount of time. Let's see how I'm gonna look after another 6 months. Stay tuned for that. And thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video as well, and drop down in the comments down below whatever questions or thoughts you have. Alright, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, guys. I'm signing off.